Can you tell us the plan for both Peter Mrazek and Joey Anderson?
Joey Anderson will play for us tomorrow night. Peter Mrazek, first day back in full practice. Looked like everything went well. He's going to continue to progress. The goal here now is just to build up enough of a workload to where he feels confident, and the medical team feels confident in him playing in games. But the intention is that as he continues to ramp up, that he'll get some action with the Marlies this weekend, and we'll take it from there.
What would you expect about Joey Anderson? What do you expect at this point?
Joey's a guy that works extremely hard. He's a versatile player. He's got good defensive instincts, great work ethic. We think he can help on the penalty kill. We liked his camp. We'd like to start to the Marley season, and he's been up here a few times with us here now and has done well in our practices. We haven't gotten him into a game yet, but just think with Cash's absence in the lineup, that getting another right winger in there helps us, and with his skill set that Joey has, I think it's a good fit.
You guys are in quite a run, Sheldon. When you look back a month, I know you always want to look forward and continue to improve, but what stands out to you about the way the group has really come together and all pulling the same help?
We just, we've remained consistent in how we've played. When I say that, it's defensively. There's been some great consistency there. You're not always going to have your best night offensively. You're not always going to have the puck as much as you like. But defensively, I think we've given ourselves a chance each game because we haven't given up a great deal. Even when the volume has gone up like it did, the other night in Anaheim, I just think we haven't given up the same level of high danger chances that we've given up. And then goaltending, of course, has also been extremely consistent. So those things combined give us a chance to win every game. And then, good things have happened for us, right? Power play has been good at times. Penalty kill's been very consistent. And then our 5-on-5 scoring has had an uptick here. So lots of good things there.
You guys, a month can be a long time or it can be not very long in hockey. And a month ago, the sky was falling here. And you know what it's like in this market. You've been here for more than 2 years now. But do you get the sense that the guys have done a better job of blocking it out? Because you can talk about blocking out as much as you want, but there's always going to be something that's going to leak in. Right?
Yeah, I do. I think, the guys have stayed focused on what they can control, which is what happens inside the walls, happens inside the boards. And that's really it. And it's not just blocking out the negative noise. You got to block out all the noise. And there's noise now, too, and we just got to stay focused here. We have a very good Colorado team that's waiting for us tomorrow night. And we got to focus on that. It's reset each day. We talked about going 1-0 each day, every opportunity that we get. That's been our focus. It's been a nice boost to be back here, be back home. See your family and be back in our facility. It's a good boost for us, but reality is it does kind of feel a little bit like an extension of the road trip, given, we got home long trip yesterday, and it was 6:30 p.m. before I walked in my door last night, and then all of a sudden you're back here again, and you get a practice in, and then a game day again tomorrow. So it's a lot of ways this is an extension of our trip. So let's make sure we just keep the same mindset and be ready to play.
What is the outlook for Kasha,
What
Sheldon?
was the first question?
For Kasha, what's the?
He skated this morning. And that went well. So tomorrow he's going to progress into our morning skates and get out with the guys and take it from there. But he's not going to play tomorrow.
Is Wall back up tomorrow night?
Wall will back up tomorrow, yes.
How happy are you with this organization right now?
Very happy. I mean, we look at, first of all, the goaltending. Both in Wall's performance and coming up here, but the fact that we also had Hutchinson and Shalgren, who was playing very well, is going through an injury, I think, right now, but doing a good job there. So the goaltending depth, we felt supported in Mrazek's absence. And when we look at the guys who've come up here, most recently Anderson, I feel confident putting him in the lineup. The addition of Kyle Clifford has given us added depth there as well, and extra leadership and veteran presence. And there's a number of guys playing really well, down with the Marlies right now. So we feel good about it. We've rotated 7 defensemen in here, throughout the season, and each of those guys have done a job. We've won games and gone on good runs, no matter who's been in or out in that rotation. So that makes us feel good about it. But obviously, whether it's Kasha or it's Mikheyev or Mrazek, you want to have these guys playing and healthy, and that'll continue to be our focus to get them back up and running. But we do feel good that we can handle things, when guys do get hurt.
How important for the group is it? I'm sure it's fairly obvious that they look around and know it's not a handful of people every night that are getting it. It is a handful, but it's different people. You're getting it from everywhere right now. It's not just, okay, you 5 have to lead us. It's coming from all different folks.
That's really important. I mean, it's been a priority for me too in, trying to make sure we create a sense of value all throughout our lineup, and that, no matter what your role is on our team, that you're important, and we need you. And I think as you say, you look at our season, whether it's the scoring, then that's been spread out at different times, whether it's the power play, the penalty kill, the goaltending, our depth scoring, the way that we've protected leads and used all 4 lines when we're protecting leads and play with the lead a lot through November. All throughout our lineup, guys have done a really good job. We've moved the lines around, and people have moved up and down, and they've handled that really well. So, that just gives us confidence in our lineup and in our team. And I think there's a great sense of team around here. That's extremely important. I'm not certain on the exact timeline, to be honest, on really where he's at or what the timeline initially was, but I know today was, now that we've come back, today was his first, day that he sort of progressed to being on the ice with our players and the skill session. I think that's going to continue to progress as he gains more strength in his hand.
Just thinking about Anderson, is there anything you want the Marlies to know about how to make an impact in a short amount of time?
Well, my focus, when I talked to these guys, and I spoke to Joey today, we're going to give you some little things to focus on within our structure and things that are important. But especially in a small sample, they got to come up here and be confident and comfortable in who they are as players. You come in and start overthinking it and starting to change who you are, but you only have a short window to make an impression and to help our team, then you're going to be in tough. Joey's a guy, plays a good, hard, simple, intelligent game, and that's what you would look for. And no matter who you are, when you come up here, you're up here for a reason, and whatever that reason is, you need to display that. That's the biggest thing is for us to not get in their way. They got enough going on in their head. They're uncomfortable. When you come up here, it's just a reality of it. And you want to try to make them as comfortable as possible to just be who they are. And then, whether it's their line mates or whether it's our team in general, we can adapt to them rather than them having to overthink things and adapt to us.
It looks like the league is setting around a number that clamped down a little bit because of the spread of COVID, and parties and appearances. Your thoughts on what's going on at that level?
Yeah, it's just, you can see the number of cases. Obviously, it's very unfortunate that these things are continue to happen, but just a reminder, we are still in a pandemic here, and we are functioning in somewhat of a more normal state, but that it's not completely normal, and we've got to continue to be diligent. We've been fortunate to keep it outside of our room at this point, but we know that the reality is that it's still out there, and we've got to be diligent and as intelligent as we can with it. And I think we've done a good job of that, but I'm sure the teams that have had issues have also felt they were doing a good job. So it's I think it's important and good that the NHL sent a little reminder.
Feedback from a long west trip can be tricky sometimes. What was your plan at practice today, and what was your sense of the group today?
Well, the plan at practice today, like I said, my approach was that essentially today and tomorrow's game are an extension of the previous road trip. We haven't necessarily settled at home yet. I've already spent about as much time in this building as I have at home since coming back. So we knew we couldn't push the guys too hard today, but we do want to make sure coming off an off day they got their touches. So that's where the skills stuff comes in at the beginning of practice, and then we wanted to keep it at about 35 minutes, which I think was about right where we landed. And I wanted the intensity to be high within that short time frame, and I thought it was. I liked the pace and energy that we had. At the same time, once the whistle blew, I think that's the fastest I've ever seen the ice clear. So it's a pretty good indication of where our guys are at, and they'll go home and rest up and be happy to be in their beds and with their family and come back tomorrow ready to go.
Was that approach of treating this like a run game also help with the whole staying focused in terms of like what you started on that trip with having everyone engaged on a daily basis?
Yeah, that was pretty much my message this morning when we met before we went on the ice is that, you know, as much as it's a boost being back home and play in front of our fans tomorrow, and we're excited about that. You know, we still haven't really recovered from the road trip and have to still be, you know, treating it like you're on the road, where you got to take care of yourself. You got to make sure you're getting good sleep. You got to stay focused on how we've played and what we've done to succeed on the road, and not look to change anything coming back home other than the adjustments we need to make for a very strong Colorado opponent. But yeah, our mindset has to stay with where it was. And the fact that we are still feeling a little bit weary from the road, I think that will help us stay in that mindset. And that was what I was trying to reinforce today.